Hi, this is YouAutoKnowJoe. What's up, everyone? Hope you're having a good day. Today I'm going to do a comprehensive step-by-step guide on how to change the oil on any vehicle. The next step is to lift your vehicle up. If you don't have a lift, you can do this with the jack and jack stands. And once your vehicle is in the air, you're going to locate the drain plug, which on this particular vehicle is located right here. Once you've located the drain plug, you need to determine which size socket you have. Mine is a 15 millimeter, and I'll be using this impact socket with a 1/2 inch ratchet. And you'll just loosen the drain plug, and as you loosen it, you want to position your catch pan so that it catches all the oil. And then you can finish removing it. By hand, finish removing the drain plug by hand. And as it gets loose, you're just gonna apply pressure to keep it in the hole until you feel the last thread, and then you can see the oil drain. Just pull it out of the way so you don't get oil all over yourself, like so. I barely got a little oil on my glove. Inspect the gasket of the drain plug to make sure that it's in good shape. Otherwise, you'll need to replace the gasket if it's damaged. Now we can see here the oil has slowed to a drip, so we're going to move on to the next step, which is to remove the oil filter, which is located in the front of the engine here. What I like to do is use this oil filter wrench, grab the filter, and turn it counterclockwise, just like any other bolt that you're loosening. And then you'll continue to unscrew it, and it will come off. And you want to make sure your catch pan is positioned underneath like this so that it's catching the oil, so you're not dropping it on the ground. You can let it drain for a second. And now we can remove the oil filter the rest of the way. Again, it will just spin off. The majority of cars are like this. And then place it facing down in your catch pan so that the rest of the oil can drain out of the filter. And when you remove your oil filter, this is what it will look like. And you want to make sure that the gasket is not stuck to this metal surface. The next step is to take a rag and to clean the surface of the oil filter housing to get it ready for the new filter. Just like that. This is the gasket of the oil filter, and sometimes they will separate from the filter and get stuck on the car. With the old gasket still stuck, if you install this filter, it will leak. So that's why it's important to check for that gasket. Step before installing the oil filter is to add oil to it. Just enough so that the oil pump doesn't run dry. And then dab a little bit of oil and lubricate the seal. The next step is to install the oil filter, lining it up and threading it on. Very simple procedure here. Just make sure that it lines up on the threads before you start tightening it. And for the oil filter, you do want to tighten it down by hand. So turn it as much as you can by hand. If there's oil everywhere, I like to grab a rag just to give me some more grip on the oil filter and finish tightening it down with the rag. You don't want to over tighten it or it will break that seal. So there we go. The oil filter is installed. Next step is to wipe the oil pan where the fill and then reinstall. the oil plug, drain plug, and go ahead and screw that in. Do it as much as you can by hand, and then we're going to torque it down with our ratchet. And like I mentioned, you're just going to tighten down the drain plug. You don't want to over tighten it. Just snug it up like that. Now with the car back on the ground, the next step is to locate your oil cap, remove it, and install your funnel. Now all you need to do is add the oil. I'm doing 1 quart at a time. This vehicle calls for 6 quarts, so I will fill about 5 quarts and then I'll check the level. I apologize, I said it calls for 6, but it actually calls for 5.5. So that's 1 quart, and I'll let it drip out as it needs to. And this is my 5th quart, so the next thing to do is to pull the oil dipstick and to check the oil. And to do that, we wipe the dipstick off. It's a lot easier with 2 hands, but I can still make it work. Alright, wipe the dipstick and reinstall the dipstick. And then when we remove the dipstick, we should be able to see the level. And right there, it's still about if this camera will focus, I can tell it's about a half quart low, so I'm going to go ahead and add the other half. And that's all you have to do to change your own oil. The very last step, and one of the most important steps, is to drain your old oil back into the container and take it to recycle, because you can't throw old motor oil in the trash. It needs to be recycled. Any O'Reilly's, AutoZone, Napa, most of these stores will recycle your old oil for you, so it's really easy to just refill your old oil container and take it there to be recycled. Well, thanks for watching, guys, and have a great day.